All right, so I got T in one hand and Semi Boner in the other hand, and we're here with Motoagogo. What's
Hey,
up,
what's
my
up?
dude?
Good to have you. Good to have me here. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm so tired.
I didn't even warn this kid that I would start the video. Threw him a curveball, dude. Sorry about that. Just had to
Nah,
do
all
it.
good.
Don't you love that? Like when you're trying to make a YouTube video, I think every single like YouTuber or streamer or any of those dudes, they have like their little stutter, their little like mess ups and shit. It
We
fucking
all have
cracks
a
me.
mental relapse.
Yeah. It cracks me up, dude. Okay, yeah, you can restart it.
Okay.
So basically, in this video, we're just going to be talking about sort of how RF is pretty much shutting down and EMF is kind of taking over. What are your thoughts on all that?
I mean, they've had a long road. They started in the Winter Series. I think it was 2011, 2012, and started as like just small events, everything, and then became that premier class. Oh my God, I'm already screwing up everywhere. That premier class that everybody wanted to do their best into, and actually was considered the AMA or any of that
Yeah,
type in
yeah.
racing, which was cool. But it's time to pass the torch sometimes, and they're giving it to EMF, which has stepped up quite a bit over time, and seem to actually have a good idea on what they're going to do for this next year. So
So basically, from what I read, it seems to be there's the same sort of people are still going to be making the tracks. So they're not going to be getting like crazy different tracks. But I think it's just, the people that are actually like doing actually running it and doing the banning and all that kind of stuff is going to definitely be the EMF dudes at that point.
yeah, there's Storkin, there is Wise, I think. I can't remember who everybody is, but I worked with EMF a couple of times, and they've always been pretty solid about what they do. So I'm hoping that everything. I feel like it's just going to be the most easy transition ever, just a different site and a different, leaders, like you said. So
Yeah, I've never had a problem with EMFs. They've always kept it very professional, but my biggest concern is like, you're going to have some people that are like, "Oh, well, I won 5 championships on EMF, but if they won 4 of those whenever RF was still around, then did you really win 5?" And now it's like EMF. Do you understand what I'm saying there?
no, I completely understand. Yeah, there's no separation anymore.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to be like, well, I have 5 US championships because it's all on EMF. So that's going to get a little confusing, I feel like.
Yeah, I could see it too, but they're probably going to classify it as, you know what I mean, like 2017. I don't think they'll even run it as EMF standing anymore. Just be like, I won 2018 Supercross, because there's only one now. There's no longer like an RF EMF. There's one like MX Simulator Supercross series.
Okay, so like EMF is not doing like an EMF Supercross series.
Well, it might be. I'm just saying that people can say it like I won the 2018 Supercross, but there's only one
Yeah.
now. There's no longer an RF or EMF, so it's just, I won 2018.
Yeah, I got you on that. So they're still keeping all the numbers from RF 2017. They're carrying all that over, if I'm not
I'm
mistaken.
guessing. I haven't looked into that meat of it. You know what I mean? Like I was
Yeah,
curious about how the numbers are going to work, how, as you said, championships are going to play into it, which I doubt. I honestly wish they would just reset everything and almost like consider this like that new era. You know what I mean? Like a new restart, which would be kind of cool.
yeah, because there's 2 different ways to look at it. So like, I almost kind of would be thinking whoever was going to be running this new EMF thing, why didn't they just continue to do it on the RF thing? Those people that were going to do it, why didn't they just do that on RF and still do all their EMF stuff? But I guess it's not RF, so they can't really do that. I don't know. But the other side of that is like, if you have however many wins in RF, well, now it's not really going to keep up with all that long history because that was all on RF. It's not on
Of course.
EMF. So
Yep.
it's going to get kind of hairy when you think about it like that. I guess it's just I mean, I'm not so much as concerned as like there's not going to be enough competition. It's not going to be like high level like RF was. It's
Well,
going to
it's
be
still going to be the same hours as RF.
yeah,
So it's almost like it's almost as though, like I said, RF never left EMF. It's just replacing one part of the name, and it's just Premier Supercross all over again. You know,
yeah,
that's all it is.
yeah. It'll be the same sort of animal as RF. It just some of the stat sheets and stuff might get a little bit twisted in there, but I think it's cool. Not as crazy as maybe some people are playing it out to be. Some people on the forums like, dude, MX Simulator's over. It's done.
Yeah.
Shit
I
like
mean, it's
that.
honestly, in a way, this is going to make it for a whole new generation, I think. You know what I mean? Like, because there's a lot of, I've met a lot of new people on the forums or just randomly messaging me, and you probably get a couple as well, of course, where they're making content that, there's still a whole new slew of new riders coming in every day, and a lot, new players and new amateurs, which we're going to see a lot of them eating it here soon again. My favorite part about watching Sim, but, I mean, I'll be in that mess too, don't worry. But I don't know. I'm really hoping that everything just resets. Really, like that's my biggest hope. That not all numbers and everything. It's just a whole new chapter in Sim. I think it'll be really cool to see.
Yeah, that is the cool thing about MX Simulator. It just seems as if it's one of those unlimited skill gap. Like you're always going to have people finding the game, playing the game, more people getting into it. It's not like a new Call of Duty, where you just get people on it and then everyone kind of forgets about it. It's like MX Simulator is more of a long-term, very, very long-term. At least that's the way I see it. A lot of people think that like the pro racing would just die out and then the game would die out, stuff like that. It's really not like that just because of how realistic the game is.
Yeah, it's
like,
very consistent. You have to stay with it, or else you lose any edge you had.
Yes,
can't even make
yeah,
that right
that's the cool thing. Oh, let me try not.
now. Yeah, sorry, I didn't even make that.
Dualies,
Usually I can make that
bitches.
triple, no problem, but not that time.
Yeah, but I mean that is the cool thing. Some people might think MX Simulator is like eventually just gonna wash away and die out or whatever. I mean, I don't know. Just the way the bike feels is like so solid. And if they keep on making tracks for it, I don't see how it would ever die out like that.
And on top of that,
Honestly
E-Road's
don't.
added a whole new level to the game too. I mean, it's not perfect by any means yet, but it's something we've wanted. And now the way it builds up, like I was saying earlier when just talking, that a couple friends of mine and I did a 20 lapper on Daytona last night at 100% E-Road. Yeah, it got ridiculous to the point that you can't ride it, but it felt like 2008 mud race. You know what I mean? Like I felt
Yeah.
like Chad Reed dying in 2 corners left to go and just couldn't make it to the end because it just got so bad. But it's just, once they tone it down and get it built just right, I could see E-Road making a completely huge change and
Yeah.
a rebirth to this game, really.
Yeah, it definitely could. I mean, that is, what everyone talks about is the one missing aspect, really, other than graphics.
Of course.
But
Yeah, we need a Sim 2.0.
Yeah, it's talking about the E-Road and the rut systems and stuff like that. That is the one pretty large aspect of the game that would make a ginormous difference. And I always kind of wanted the thought of it of being like having a track that you could still make it to where there was no E-Road on a track. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Have the
Of course.
option for that. But yeah, the E-Road and MX Simulator, I've always been kind of mixed emotions on that. It's sometimes it feels great, sometimes it feels like shit.
Yep, 100%
sometimes
agree.
it's definitely a little more inconsistent. I know JLV's been kind of working on it here and there, definitely for the online modes and stuff. He's changed some stuff where it doesn't make. Didn't he put a setting in there where it doesn't make like kickers as much?
Yeah, it used to give massive kickers at the top of a lip. Like you would E-Road more into the center of it compared to the top, so it'd just make it vert ramps pretty much everywhere, and that was a big problem. It's a lot more updated now. It feels a lot smoother.
Yeah. It's still not quite like a reflex style
Exactly.
rut maker. It
Yep.
is still a little bit different because I don't know, it's like a more simplistic. You're basically just taking away terrain, like directly
much.
where you are and where you're turning and stuff like that. So
Yeah, the only problem I have with it more than anything is when you fall, it does more of a dig into the dirt than it does just riding across it. So if somebody wrecks multiple times in one corner, it makes a
Yeah.
hole, and it makes it impossible.
Yeah, could you imagine the pile-ups on the first start corner? It's gonna be like a fucking trench, dude.
And honestly, like a good idea we had last night talking was that I almost wish that we did it a week late of each track, and only in the way of that. Imagine it rained the night before in an open stadium, and it made it a muddy race, so they could you turn the E-road up a little bit,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
have it a bit more of a nasty race. But I mean, of course, we got to have it the week before, so. But on that, I just thought that was kind of an interesting idea for later. Like, so imagine motocross. Like, it rained at Washougal. Let's make it nasty. Let's make it going to be completely rutted out by halfway through the race.
yeah, I've always thought in the pro racing in this game they should do it a week later so they can get the actual conditions as closely as they can to how it was, because it's almost laughable when you get like a perfect traction a replica Supercross track, and then you look back on the real race, and it was like some muddy ass
muck race.
yeah, it's like what is going on here, dude? But yeah, so it'll be cool to see. Let's hop on a different track here.
Sure. What do you want to go on to?
Doesn't matter, just any of it. Any of it minus Daytona.
I don't even know what it's going to be. That works. I didn't even check the track list. I just put one in.
Oh, dude. It's cool to be making some videos with some people again. I know I kind of got away from that a little bit, but what have you been up to?
The sad story of my life. First time I get to say this. Got a good job going for a bit. Realized how corrupt the company was and actually got let go before training was over for dumb reasons. So I'm right back to where I was. So I'm back to streaming and making videos again for a little bit until I get my new job.
Yeah, it happens, man.
I'd rather know it early than late. You know what I mean? It was just bad.
So I mean the RF thing. So what are you going to be doing in 2018? Are you doing anything for EMF or what?
Honestly, as odd as it is, I would love to go more into it, but I would never throw anybody under the bus. But I have no contact at all with anybody from it, and I'll probably be racing, so that'll be interesting. Was never asked to do anything or plan to do anything, but it's just had some issues with Monster Energy Cup last year when we were trying to get that going. So I don't think they want me any inclusion for EMF, but I'll definitely be racing. That'll be for sure.
So did I read this right, or did I just miss something? Is RF still doing EMF?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Like it almost, maybe I was just reading this wrong. I don't know, but it seemed as if like they were still going to do the EMF. No, I might have just read that wrong. I don't know. Is it all going to be on EMF now?
Yeah, everything's EMF now. Yeah, RF is not hosting anything, but they'll be helping with EMF.
Yeah, okay, I see. Well, yeah, I guess
it's a collaboration of like the best minds. You know what I mean? Like get both sides together, whoever's still left of RF that still wants to keep doing it, and help EMF make it, on par to even better of what we had before. So
yeah, that is cool when you think of it like that. I know a lot of people, really loved RF, and I had a lot of special moments with RF. A lot of
For sure.
When I say special, yeah, you know what I'm saying, Doc. But no, I mean, you know what it is. I've just been a real talker since day one. That's just who I am. There's no other way to say it.
To be honest with you, even if people agreed or disagreed or anything with what you had to say, at least you stuck with your gun, and that's what matters the most in a lot of this.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, like, whenever I get on here and talk about stuff, some people kind of run from their past or, like, scared of it. Dude, you can ask me about anything. I'll tell you why I did it. I'll tell you when I did it. I'll tell you what I think about it now. Like, I'm not scared of anything I've ever done. It's all been for a purpose. It's been for a reason. It's been, like... And it's came from deep down, It wasn't like I was just kind of going off of a whim. It was things I really thought, something that like really got to me.
Yeah, I got you.
That was the times where I made videos and stuff. But I mean, I did have fun times whenever I very first got into RF. It just had a cool like, I don't know, just the nerves I got racing RF did not match anything else, basically.
Yeah, no game really gives you the heart pounding. I mean, maybe nowadays PUBG a little bit if you get like a really good ending going. You got,
I
you're
have,
all loaded up. I saw you playing it the other day. It's kind of cool. We'll have to join up one day.
yeah,
But no, that game gives you definitely a heart rate increase in that last top 10 solo games. It gets crazy,
yeah.
but this game definitely gets you heart pounding for 15, 20 laps, depending on how many you're doing, and it's
I
crazy.
mean, like, there was no other feeling in this game as leading a 450 main event in RF.
Yeah.
No other explanation, no other. There's just no other feeling like it. It's as if time sort of stops when it's like that. I don't know why it's so much capable of doing that, but it just, for me, it's always been that way. I guess I've always kind of held it at a pretty high pedestal, like, oh, this is a really big deal here because the fastest people are in there. So,
Yep.
yeah, that's pretty Spencer Turley typical. Let me just go past you right quick.
There you go. Yeah, no worries.
Shit,
As I cased the hell out of that quad. There you go. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I cased it. See, there's a really, that Big Daddy Huck jump right there.
Oh
don't
yeah.
you?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I could barely ever get it on the 450. I used to be able to huck it all the time, but 250, it's kind of impossible.
So you're racing 250
Yes,
amateur?
sir. Yep. I'll be doing East Coast since Atlanta's my home track, so I'll be racing that side.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm just planning on doing a normal old 450 Supercross. Oh, I couldn't hit the jump. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how, all the dudes that run EMF, see how it goes on the first couple rounds. So I'm guessing they're still planning on doing the E-Road, the EMF dudes.
Yeah, the only question I have still is, and it's everybody's mind, is how much E-Road are we going to have? Because we've been practicing from anywhere from 10 to 100 just for the fun of it in the last couple of days, and I don't know how much they're going to put the E-Road on. It is a drastic change for every 10 to 20. I mean, 30 to 50 is drastic. And
Yeah, that's pretty
I'm just
big.
wondering how far we will take it. But I'm hoping to keep it about 10 to 20 so it gets like the nice like little ruts and stuff, but we don't get the little pockets that start forming. So
Yeah.
But with 22 riders, I have yet to test that. So I'm
It's
really
going to be a whole
intrigued.
different, it's going to be a whole different animal. Can you change your track real quick?
Yeah.
We'll just go to another one, talk a little bit more here. But that's, the 22 riders is what makes it a whole different thing, because anyone can hop on here and have fun by themselves or with like 2 or 3 other people E-Road, but like, how is 22 people going to hold up in a server?
Yep. And like we said earlier with crashing, like multiple people crashing one corner, that corner is destroyed. You're going to have to find a whole new line.
Yeah, they're going to have some little tricky, buggy style things. I feel like it might take them some time to really get that ironed out, and I don't even know if they'll be able to iron it out this year.
You know what? That might make it part of the fun of the season.
Yeah, it's going to be wild nonetheless, going to complete EMF, going to EMF and trying out this E-Road. It's going to be like a whole different kind of racing season here.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like I said, it makes it exciting because now the EMF is taken over. Add E-Road into it. It's like a whole new thing. Like I said earlier, it's its own beast.
Yeah, I just do not know how E-Road. Now, when I was riding on one of the online servers with E-Road on it, but we're probably like 10, 15 people, something like that.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know what they even had it set on, but it really just made it feel weird more than anything. It didn't even really make like ruts. It just kind of made weird little, I guess there were pockets. I don't really know what they were.
Yeah, if it starts forming like little donuts almost, yeah, we just started calling those pockets that just keep forming, and it's kind of annoying. But the newest, I don't know which snapshot you have, but the newest one, or one of the newer ones, kind of helps smooth it out.
Yeah, I've got the one I think it's the one that just put the 18 bikes in, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, then yeah, I think that one had it.
And we were also talking about how, the damn Yamaha has a NOS button on it, 2018. Is that what bike are you gonna be running?
I'm right now. I would love to be on the Husky. It just seems to have that little extra power, which is nice to get triple ins a little bit easier. But right now, I'm just on the KTM, which was my bike from last year because it's the only one I've got skins on. So.
Yeah, I'm one of those kind of dudes. I get so damn comfortable on one dyno, and it's like it has to be drastically better for me to want to go to another bike. I've just always kind of been like that. It's got to be better in every way almost, and I don't really, it's like all the other bikes just don't really seem to have been better in every way. It's like some of them might be better top end, but they weren't quite as good bottom end, or
Yep.
different I just think some of these newer like 17 and 18 bikes, it's just giving people more variation and options, not necessarily made something crazy better. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
in comparison to like 2011 RMZ versus 2016 stuff, like that was big difference. Nowadays it just seems like it's, and another thing I wanted to talk about is it ever going to get to the point where there's too much power and then you can't even ride the bike, or like there's too much speed going? And I guess that's a real life problem as well.
I was going to say, exactly. Yeah, it's one of the few things about sim that I'm loving, is that if that does end up happening with the way they're actually, going with the range of power and everything, how it is, it's very IRL. It's very just how real life racing has developed so much over time. It's just, we're going to constantly get to the point that we're going to get like NASCAR. We're going to have to start doing restrictor flight racing in some way, restrict the bikes down to a certain power. And I mean, I would hate to see it get to that day, but it's bound to happen.
I mean, I would say it's pretty close. They say they can make as much horsepower as they can, but it's just about they have to tone it and tune it and make it controllable.
Exactly. Yeah, you could have tons of power, but if you can't keep it on the ground, then there's no reason to have that power.
Yeah, I mean, if you're popping wheelies all the way backwards every corner, you're going to be pretty much screwed there. So
yeah, or just no traction at all. That much power, you're just going to spin because of the weight of you and the bike.
Yeah, and I guess when it gets to that point, then you start talking about how the tracks are designed is what makes
traction.
Yeah, traction, and just overall layouts of supercar. There's a limit to like indoor stadiums.
Of course,
you've got to you can only get so much power for that amount of distance. I mean, I guess motocross outdoors is a little bit different. It's a little more wide open.
See,
but
that's where it's going to be crazy with a lot of power. Outdoors is where it's going to be the new, well, it kind of is already, but the ultimate man sport of dirt bikes. It's going to be so much power wide open. And even these guys in Baja, if you look at that, these guys are doing like, what, 80, 90 miles an hour across the desert, just leaned over the bars resting. It's crazy. Like, I couldn't imagine hitting that speed, and and also their bikes are like 500 pounds or something like that because of how much fuel they carry and just how built the bikes are. It's just nuts what these guys are doing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's definitely kind of a different topic for a different video there. I could talk all year long about that, but either way, man, appreciate you coming on here and talking about all the stuff. Be cool.
Yeah, always. Yeah, happy to be a part of it. There you go. Best way to end a video is to meet up on the track.
There you go, dog. But we'll make some more videos here in the future, and we'll get it rocking, man.